That's not where it sits, Sam. Look,
Did you receive any money from the Sydney Swans?
I think we've gone down that pathway, and I think you asked me the same question here 5 years ago.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. If I said to you that a Swans executive told me to the contrary, what would you say to that?
I would say speak to the Swans executive, you can get him sitting in my seat and you can go as hard as you like at him.
That's a very good answer. That's the Sydney Swans out of the way.
But by the way, again, if I had been paid by them, why would I have been working as hard as what I was in the media?
Because they reneged on an agreement, stalled Paul Roos, and they felt... Pardon?
But you said they paid me.
I said they reneged on an agreement, and maybe there was a legal obligation to pay you because they'd reneged on an agreement, and therefore you could go and work in the media. That's all I'm asking you. I'm not...
Maybe. You're saying maybe. No, but you're saying maybe. I mean...
No, I'm just saying that's why I asked you the question. And I accept your answer. I'm only asking the questions. You can answer them any way you like. Now, that's the Swans out of the way. The other thing that to my understanding, you haven't denied this. Did Chris Newman come to you and ask you to resign a couple of weeks ago? You have not denied that. I will assume that if you don't deny it, it is a fact. Would that be unreasonable of me to assume that?
You can assume what you like, Sam. Private conversations between private people,
yes.
Not for public consumption. I'll say one thing to you. Would you prefer, I'll ask you a question, you've been asking me all the questions, would you prefer somebody to come to you, look you in the eyes, have a conversation with you, shake your hand at the end of the conversation, or would you prefer them to be doing the same thing behind your back?
Well, there's no answer to that. You know what the answer to that is.
Well, there is an answer then.
Well, the obvious answer is the former. But what's that got to do with it?
Well, that's what happened. Myself and Chris had a conversation. We shook hands.
You may be, and quite rightly so, but you may be thinking you're protecting Chris Newman, but I'd suggest that you're not protecting him if this happened, because we could clear this up at once and for all, and he'll be asked forever and a day, and you'll be asked forever and a day, and I know it's a private conversation, but wouldn't it be better just to say that if it happened, that Chris Newman, the captain of Richmond, came and asked me to resign because he had a quorum of players and they suggested in the best interest of the club this would be the appropriate course of action, and you can say, yes, it happened, and as a consequence, I'm coaching my last game tomorrow.
Well, if that was the case, why would have we bothered going down and having 14 or 15 people meeting together, working out where we needed to go over the next few weeks, working out our strategies to go forward, and then won a game 2 weeks later?
So, but that's not the point, is it? The point is, did he come and ask you to resign?
And as I said, it was a private conversation held between two people.
And I'm going to assume that, seeing as you haven't denied it, that he actually did. That's what I'm assuming, and people can make up their own. That's fair enough.
That's your assumption.
Why haven't you succeeded at Richmond?
A plethora of reasons. I mean, there's a number of reasons why things don't work out. I mean, I think probably we can go back in a 20-year history with the Richmond Footy Club.
Well, let's go back in your history, just 5 years.
Okay. Well, no, let's go the 20 years, because that's my history as well. I mean, I was there when KB was there, and KB had no chance of succeeding at that club at that point in time, because KB was in a situation where he was virtually needing to pick sides on a budget, and that's been the scenario at that football club for a long period of time. Danny Frawley, I sort of said the other day at my press conference that the club off the field when I first arrived was a basket case, and a lot of things have been turned around by the new board and management of where it sort of sits, but Danny Frawley had no chance of succeeding at what I saw in relation to that football club, because they just didn't have the finances. When I arrived, we didn't have a recruiting officer. 3 years it took us right before we got a development coach at the football club at all. All those things add up to making a strong footy club. They're in a much better position now. I've got to say they're in a much better position than what they were when I took over 5 years ago.
Do you respect Kevin Sheedy?
Absolutely.
Well, he said at the start of the year that he thought Richmond could win the flag. There's a hell of a polarisation of where you are now and what he reckoned. Why would he have said that?
Well, they're opinions, aren't they? Like you've had a few opinions tonight that we've...
No, I haven't had any opinions. I'm just asking you some questions. No, I haven't. I'm just asking you some questions. You know that, Terry, and I like you and I respect you. And the last time I spoke to you, I think, was at the 2000 Olympics when we watched the high jump together with you and your wife. I think, didn't we?
Correct.
Yeah. That's about the last time I've actually spoken to you face to face. So I've not got any opinions. I'm just asking you some questions. And so you're holding responsible, it's a shambles, the club, you're saying?
No, I said it has been.
You said it was, yeah.
I said it has been, yeah. And look,
and did you have anything to do with the recruiting, or did Greg Miller have anything to do with the recruiting?
I'll tell you, I'll do you a deal.
Okay.
If I had things to do with the recruiting at the Bulldogs, I'm comfortable to take...
Yes.
I'm comfortable to take that if I could take the responsibility for the recruiting at the Tigers, but I won't not get any... responsibility for the recruiting at the Bulldogs and take all the responsibility for the Tigers. Either you are a coach that runs the whole ship yourself, or you have managers that run specific areas and you allow them to manage their areas. I reckon I'm the latter. I think that I'm a coach, I'm not a recruiter, and I have tried to get good recruiters around you to be able to do the best job that they possibly can. I think it's a recruiter's job, not mine.
Had you lost...
So I don't want to take any responsibility.
No, fair enough. I'm just asking the questions. Had you lost the players at Richmond? Would that be fair to say you've lost the players, do you think?
Oh, you always have to ask the players that, but I don't think so. And I think, I had my 500th game last week, and I think the guys were over in the West. If the response was really poor, if morale was poor, they wouldn't be playing in the capacity that they played. The game was nearly done and dusted. They managed to get over the line the other day. We've not been non-competitive in any games bar round one. It's just a circumstance where, look, the 5 years was coming to an end and something had to give.
Will you do it again? Would you go to the Gold Coast? What are you set to? You're setting your sights like you maybe set them on the Swans and maybe set them on Richmond. Are you setting your sights on going to the Gold Coast under some capacity?
No, I mean, and that's again rumour and innuendo.
I know. That's why we're asking you.
I pick up the paper on and have family members ringing me, sort of saying, "Oh, good luck. I hear you're off to the Gold Coast." I haven't spoken to anyone in football about any matters. And look, the next month, obviously, that'll be my job. I get tomorrow out the way, get on with life, and start to have a coffee with people and sort of see where I'm going. I love footy, Sam, and I have no regrets about that factor, and love the game and still want to be involved in the game.
Now, finally, as a veteran of 500 playing and coaching games, who do you think should take over and coach Richmond?
One of the assistant or development coaches.
Well, who are they? Who do you think?
Look, it's not my responsibility, and I've had...
I don't know it's not your responsibility.
I've had no input into it whatsoever. And
well, you must know the people around you who you think's competent and would be good at it.
Haven't been
asked.
I'm
asking you.
I don't want to go on public record of going through sort of saying... I mean, what I finally get then is 4 enemies and one friend out of the scenario. I mean, those guys have done a fantastic job for me. They've supported me 100%. Let them be able to put their own case forward. Let them do the best job to convince the club that they're the right person, as you always have to do as a senior coach. And then it's up to the committee to pick.
Terry Wallace, we appreciate you coming in. We wish you well, and we congratulate you for the success you've had, and we hope that you continue to have some interest in football. Thanks you very much.
Cheers.
Very well handled. Both parties. Sam and Terry, of course, and Gary. I think during an enormously tough 3-month period, Terry Wallace has handled himself with an amazing amount of dignity and class, and he's to be congratulated for that. We're going to take a look now at his team taking on the Western Bulldogs. And they're playing at Etihad Stadium on Friday night, of course. And let's start with the Tigers. Great win in Perth last week. They have not defeated the Doggies, however, since round 3, 2005. And they've won just 3 of their last 11 at Etihad Stadium. Alex Rance, a welcome addition back after fracturing his cheekbone. Jordan McMahon and Mark Coughlin also make their way in. Matthew White, Nathan Brown and Robert Nahas have been are injured. The Dogs, on the other hand, are the real deal. 3rd on the ladder, great win in the nation's capital against the Swans. 13 unanswered goals, if you can believe that, last week. And you can see massive in there in Murphy, and Ryan Hargrave will play game number 150 Bally Who do you like in this one?
I would imagine Nathan Brown would be disappointed to be out injured and missing Terry's last game, coming over from the Bulldogs with him as well. But the Bulldogs are just starting to get their wheels in motion, Jim, so I will pick them.
Brownie?
Doggies for me. Congratulations, Ryan Hargraves, 150 games, good effort.
Well,
13 individual goal kickers Richmond had last week, which was interesting. Terry Wallace's 99th game. You reckon they give him another one, maybe? As coach of Richmond, probably won't, Gaz. No. You're right. I think the Western Bulldogs will win this.
And look, I'm going to tip before I say this. Foster, we laugh at you and you play the clown beauty. I know you don't like this, but that was an outstanding job. Terry handled it beautifully, but I thought your interview was magnificent.
Very good, sir. I tell you, the easiest thing to do, Gary, the easiest thing to do is ask questions.
Yes,
that's the easiest thing to do. And I tell you what, the great interest in this game will be to see the integrity. If the Richmond Football Club after that have any integrity, whether they like Terry or not, they will try their butts out. They probably won't win, but it will be the attitude and the desire. And if they don't owe him that, they shouldn't turn up.
Yeah, indeed. Look, I think it'll be a great game. There's great irony, of course. We've heard about the history of Terry and the Western Bulldogs, and the fact that they play each other just adds a little bit of extra spice. So tomorrow night at Etihad's going to be a beauty. I think the Western Bulldogs will win, but it'll be a great contest. Well done to Terry, and well done to Samuel as well. We're going to take a break. Street talk, not far away.
Tuck the young ones away for the night, Grandma. It's time for Almost Football Legends. Tally-ho, William.
Hi, here we are. Welcome back to the Footy Show. Almost Footy Legends. I'm with Brown Dog here. Brownie, we'll get straight into it. Have a look at this goal here. Kermondale versus Huonvale. Have a look at number 16 here. He'll get it out on the boundary line and go bang! Ball slips over. Oh! What a goal. That is down there in Tasmania. Let's have a look at it again. Oh, check side boundary. Beautiful, Brown Dog.
Christie's Beach versus Happy Valley. Happy Valley player strolls into an open goal and misses. Things aren't going too well at it now. We missed it. Look at the bloke at the top of the screen there. And then the goal umpire decides to wave the flag. And the flag stick falls off. So that's from Craig Longhurst from Noongar down.
No happy ending there. Have a look at this over here. This is the under-14s. Have a look at the poor little kid he jumps on. Takes a hanger. And then he runs straight off his kid. Have a look at it again. Have a look. Oh! I think he's done his shoulder, Brown Dog.
He's off.
Just
he doesn't even look at the ball.
Righto, which one do you like?
The last one.
Well, you like number 3?
Yes.
Number 1. Oh, no love for number 1. Number 2. Number 3. I reckon it's number 2. I can't say it. Craig Longhurst from South Australia. Well done. You have won this.
Thanks to Crazy John's, your mobile experts, our weekly winner takes home a brand new phone from the huge range of phones at Crazy John's. While our 2 runners-up get $500 cash courtesy of our good friends at Crazy John's. And the major prize winner at the end of the year takes home the multi-award-winning Nissan Navara STX Dual Cab 4x4 with a powerful 126 kilowatt turbo diesel engine, a massive 3,000 kilograms brake towing capacity, and unique utility-track load restraint system. Valued at more than $47,000. Nissan Navara is tough at work, hard at play.
There we go. Almost Footy Legends. P.O. Box 800 Richmond, Victoria. 3121 Jim.
Very nicely handled, Bill. Thank you very much for that. Now, just a reminder, Craig Hutchison's not far away. Jack Watts, the new sensation for Melbourne, catches up with Gary, and Street Talk from Footscray is also one that needs to be seen to be believed. But time now, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome a man who's raised $25,000 for footy around Australia as a dual world record holder. I speak of Shane Crawford. That's what I'm talking about! Nice to have your presence, Wayne.
It's very, very nice to be here. And I actually brought in the proper photo of Campbell here. Have a look at that. There we go. I'm 13 and I'm still taller than him there. Actually, do you know how we got this?
How?
do you know how we got this?
I got no idea.
You actually brought it into us tonight. So what we thought we might do, and I'm sure all the audience and all the people at home would love to see Campbell actually play the trumpet. Ivan.
I haven't actually blown a trumpet for a very long time.
Oh, yeah, I'll blow my own trumpet.
He's going to blow his own trumpet. Okay. I've got to close my eyes. That was meant to start a race, but...
I don't reckon you paid much attention.
Pretty hard to play. You try and play it.
I will later.
Go on, Sam, have a go. Have a quick go.
I thought I said ask Gary. See if you can play. They're bloody hard to play.
We're a little push for time, so I will have a crack with it in a minute. We're going to have a look at the next game. Hawthorn take on Sydney on Sunday at the MCG. Hawthorn take on Sydney Sunday at the MCG. The Hawks
falling off, Gary.
8th on the ladder, 5 wins, 5 losses. They went down to Adelaide by 26 points. They were 12 goals to 4 at half-time last week. Big in, though. Luke Hodge comes back into the side. Renoff and Travis Tuck as well. Take on the Sydney Swans, 7th on the ladder. Wait, Foss. I'm going to have a look at the Swans. 5 wins and 5 losses. Lost to the Western Bulldogs by 40 points. Barry Hall kicked 6 goals. They have won 7 of their last 8 against the Hawthorn Footy Club. Ablett is out. Barlow, Bird, Pike and Thornton come into the side. Righto, blow it now.
Delicious.
Righto, who's winning? Lukey Ball?
Yeah, 7 out of their last 8. That's an amazing stat, but I don't think they'll win this one at the MCG, Hawthorn.
Campbell, Paul Bevan due to play his 100th game, by the way. What is it about Sydney that the Hawks have struggled with over the past 8 games? 7 games?
They're fantastic. They play very one-on-one football and they like to lock the game down, plenty of stoppages, and we've struggled in the past, but good to see Hodgie back and looking forward to the challenge this week.
Yeah, I think the Hawks at the MCG, Campbell will probably play on Mickey O'Loughlin, so it's a big job, and need a few of the boys down back to stand up. So the Hawks for me, Gary.
Sam?
Did you say you thought Swans would win?
No.
No, it's all right.
Hawthorn,
Yeah, no, that's right.
Give us some more on the trumpet.
Hawks for me, too.
Yeah, Hawks for me, yeah.
Right, I go.
All right, give us another blast. Let's hope you're...
Fizzy Gillespie.
Let's hope you're drumming a little later in the show.
My drumming?
Slightly better than that, because we hear that Luke Ball is a very good drummer, Sam, and you're also a man who
What
knows
is this,
how to play the
musical
drums.
week or something?
Yeah. So later in the show, we're going to have a drum off between those two. Now,
Would you like me to stand on my head and blow my socks off or something?
Yep, you can do that too. Hawthorn Banquet Auction, Campbell, coming up on Saturday, the 25th of July. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, that's right. Notoriously a very, very good night. Saturday, 25th of July, 6:30, Melbourne Town Hall. It's black tie, $150 per head. And if you'd like some tickets, call 9535 3069. So it'd be great to get you down there.
Yes, get along there to the Hawthorn Banquet Auction. It'll be a big function. We've already heard from Craig Hutchison tonight, just repeating the news. Andrew Symonds on a plane back from England. His career over, we would think, as an Australian cricketer. But now, let's get on to the footy
More
news.
news.
He's the best in the business. Welcome him back, Craig Hutchison.
Let's get into it. Coaching dominates the headlines, continues to, and the focus now turns to the Kangaroos, who in the last week have launched an unprecedented and extensive review of their senior coaching position, and the coach, Dean Laidley, forming a subcommittee to review extensively over the next 6 weeks whether Dean Laidley will be the coach of the Kangaroos going forward, with Glenn Archer, the club legend, emerging as a key figure in the review tonight. Now, the subcommittee consists, we understand, of many people in the football club, including Glenn Archer, directors Trevor O'Hoy and Mark Brayshaw, brother of James, and Donald McDonald will be involved as well as Eugene O'Rourke, the CEO. Round 16 is the deadline, middle of July. Dean Laidley, in his contract, has to be told whether he's the coach. The club, we understand, earlier this year offered him the option of that being pushed back until the end of the year, but Dean wants to know. And so there will be a very invasive period, this, Gary, the next 6 weeks. This will be like the Geelong review with Mark Thompson that famously happened over 6 weeks
The
at the end
difference
of...
there, though, was that the season was over with Mark Thompson. I mean, this is going to happen over the next, we believe, and we'll put it to James in a minute, over the next month or so. Jim, let me go. I'll fire the first one because you might not be able to hook me. First of all, is Hutchie on the money?
I don't know where the unprecedented bit comes from, Gary. If you're going to do your club and your coach justice, you're not just going to arrive at a board meeting and go, all right, let's put the hands up, who reckons he should stay? I mean, you're going to have a proper look into something. But as a proper football club and a professional football club, you don't discuss contracts of your players or of your administration or of your coaches. So I haven't got anything to say on it, but I just don't know about the word unprecedented. I think
well, in the middle of a season to do something as aggressively as this, he'll be benchmarked against this document. This is the AFL research document.
Got a document.
Last year, Glenn Archer was one of 2 people involved in this. It's an 80-page document that measures coaching effectiveness of an AFL senior coach. So there's an 80-page document. Leadership, man management, he is going to be put under the microscope like never before in the coming period, and it'll be an interesting period for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, and just our last one on this before we move on. Round 16...
We're not moving on yet, are we?
We're not, OK.
Well, have we got an answer from him?
No, well, round 16...
You haven't got an answer from anyone
Jim,
tonight, sir.
Hello. Think of this as an ear trumpet. Speak into it. Are we having a review? And are we having a review? Speak into that.
No, Sam, I'm certainly not going to talk about something as important as a man's future. No, into the mouthpiece of a trumpet.
Well,
he deserves enormous
put that down, Foss. This is serious.
It's an ear trumpet.
Take that off him, Hutchie. But now, just on the round 16 thing, one way or the other, will he know on round 16, by round 16, whether he coaches on or not?
Gary, Dean and his management have spoken regularly with us about the process that they want.
Sorry, Gary.
Respect.
I'm sorry.
They have spoken regularly to us about the process that they want us to adhere to. We're happy with that, they're happy with that, and I don't want to discuss it any further.
Right, I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah, oh, well, I mean, why would we discuss anything to do with football on the footy show?
Oh, what sides do you want me to blurt everything out? Why don't we just hold a board meeting here, Sam, and you can hear the lot?
I hear you, Jim. I hear you.
Now, Richmond, on to Richmond, just quickly. No, Richmond have yet to tell any of the 4 assistants who have gone for the caretaker's job whether they have got it or not as of tonight. The only one of the 5 assistants who wasn't interviewed was Brian Royal, who chose not to go through the process. So 4 assistants want that job for the caretaker. None of them will get told until Saturday after the game. Campbell and Rawlings leading the race, but David King also wants the role. So too does Craig McRae. And they went through a process on Monday, including interviews with the club psychologist, Jeff Bond, and also the chief executive, Stephen Wright. So no decision yet on the coach of Richmond for the rest of the year, which is remarkable given that they'll be in the chair from Saturday.
And the caretaker's role will be announced after the game on Friday. What about Mark Thompson? You reckon he'd be safe?
Getting close, 2-year contract on the table. Negotiations are underway. It will happen. He will sign within the coming couple of weeks with the Geelong Football Club for a 2-year period. The Footy Show caught up with Mark Thompson this week.
I think we're going to start talking pretty soon and hopefully something done. I was happy to not sign a contract at all, to be honest. But I think you need to do it from the club's perspective and for mine. I'm enjoying myself. The last 3 years have been a super period in my life and never been happier at work.
Yeah, with good reason, you'd reckon. Now, let's go on to...
He's the second longest coach, I think. Would this make him the longest coach?
So
Red Chicky, how long did he coach for? Oh, I don't know, I'm just asking.
Special comments in the segment. That's why we moved over there.
Rhetorical questions.
Now, I'll talk about Jack Watson. Yep. I had a chat with him. We're going to have a look at that shortly. Now, there was reports today about a couple of players from Brighton Grammar, the school that Jack Watts is at, that had contracted swine flu and whether or not that would have an impact on him. We can tell you that did have an impact, but it wasn't those his schoolmates.
It was his mum, who's a nurse. There was a swine flu scare last week. And Melbourne wanted to announce on Monday that he was playing and build the game up properly. They had to wait 2 days because if his mum had to wait for the test for his mum with swine flu, if his mother Janine had contracted swine flu, Jack would have gone into quarantine for 7 days and been unable to play. So he had to wait 2 days to find out on Wednesday that he was playing. You'll see an interview with Gary shortly on the Footy Show with Jack Watts, but he confirmed the news to the Footy Show this week.
We had a little inkling, but my mum was tested for swine flu the weekend before, so that sort of threw things out a bit. But luckily she got the all clear, so
fantastic.
All good.
And more from Jack Watts with Gary in a minute. Before I go, Melbourne will announce tomorrow a 30-year partnership with Casey, which is fantastic. So the good news continues for the Demons.
It is indeed, Hutchie. Beautiful work from
Jack.
you.
All right. That interview between Gary and Jack Watts is coming up next. We've also got an amazing street talk, as I said, from the streets of Footscray. So stay with us on the Mighty Footy Show.
There's the job application, just seeing if there's any positions vacant, because this is my last game, and I've come back to Footscray to apologise to everyone personally for leaving 7 years ago.
G'day, mate.
No comments, Sammy.
Well, I haven't asked you a question.
You said hello, that's enough.
What's changed since I've left in 7 years here at Footscray?
There's too many... I'm not going to say it on TV, yeah?
Well, where are you going to say it?
Unless I go in my uniform so I don't get in trouble.
This is not Brad, and he doesn't work for Coles. So what?
Well, there's a lot of wits around.
Sam, there's some serious shit going on. Witches and warlocks.
What's that?
I swear to God, witches and warlocks exist. I swear to God, mate. And they're Christian, and those Christians, the ones that speak in the tongues, that's an alien language. So there's something going on in this world. You could be an alien from outer space, and we don't even know that.
What's that, sir?
My mate got 7 years after you interviewed him here in Footscray.
What do you mean he got 7 years?
Oh, well, you interviewed him and he was on Most Wanted, and he got 7 years.
Can you fuzz me head out of this shot, because no shoot crime stop will be going off its guts. Alright.
You're not serious, are you? No, bullshit. Could I fuzz your head out? I'll fuzz my head out.
Oh, sweet.
So you reckon I'm an alien, do you, mate?
Yes, I do. I think some of us are here, and they're in this world. They were like in the 1947 at Roswell. There's a lot of baseball players, and Green came out and they started speaking in this language, like that's an alien language.
I used to go Fitzroy, and I just changed because
I see. So you went for Fitzroy,
yes,
and then you thought, oh, well, that's close enough. I'll go for the Dockers, who are on the other side of the continent.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you understand that?
Nah.
What?
Nah. You are begging there, the coach, what do you call him? Terrace Wallace.
Terrace.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Terrace Wallace.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm not bagging him. I'm pretending I am Terrace. Come on, why?
Fitzroy's last team they played was Freo.
Oh, bullshit.
It was?
No, that's not right.
That is right.
It's
That is right.
Fitzroy, the last side Fitzroy played was Fremantle. They weren't even in the AFL.
Yeah, they were. They were in...
Is that right?
Yes, in 95.
95.
Yeah.
Some of the footy players could be from outer space, you know, like Michael Lloyd.
Michael Lloyd?
No, what's his name? He plays for Essendon.
Oh, Michael, you mean, Martin Lloyd?
Oh, I think so, yeah. I'm supposed to say his name.
Yeah, Martin Lloyd, yeah, the captain. The left footer that throws the grass up in the air at the Telstra Dome when there's at the Etihad Stadium, Kenny Ryan Stadium. Hey?
I don't know what you're saying because I don't know the names.
You don't know what I'm saying.
I don't know the names of players.
There's a turn up. Terrace Wallace is no longer.
Well, good luck, Terrace. Whatever you do, whether it be washing windows, wiping down toilets, whatever it is, please.
Sweeping the terrace?
Sweeping the terrace as well. Yeah, all the best, mate.
All the best.
Cheers.
You wouldn't supposed to get it.
Newman. Jesus.
Jesus Sam Newman.
You should know. Bloody play for Geelong.
Well, fuck at me. You two wouldn't let you get a job in the commentating, would you?
Why should I?
Yeah, why should we be commentators? It's your job.
What is it? What is that? Is that a rocket?
Lend us 50 or what, mate?
I can't lend you 50.
Oh, can you give me 50?
I'll lend you. I'll give you. I won't give you 50. I'll give you 20.
I'll sell it for $500.
Will you sell me this for 500?
Yeah, it's cheap.
Looks like a rocket.
Sammy,
that's all I got.
I don't take tenors, mate. 20.
Now, what would I do with it? Seriously, I'm thinking of buying it, but where would I take it? What would I do with it?
Put it in your shop.
I haven't got a shop.
Get one.
Why are you pretending to be Terry Wallace? Honestly.
Well, see if you're a smart ass. See if you could work it out. well, shut up a minute.
Go to the clinic. Go to the clinic and do this.
Piss up.
Thanks. I couldn't have.
Can you do it?
You did it a lot better than me. Well, don't take it so begrudgingly.
Let's go and have a beer now. Thanks, Sam. Go and have a beer.
Right? You don't take tens.
No, I don't take tenors.
Well, shit. Look, thanks so much for just relieving me of it.
Oh, you're all right, mate. We're going to go and have a beer?
No, I'm working, mate. This is loosely called work. Well, look. I got to get back to the planet Earth shortly, sir. I think there's a bus leaving in about 5 minutes, and I'm going to be under it. Jesus.
I'll just drink a new choice of a generation.
Welcome back to the Footy Show. Thanks, of course, to Crazy Johns and Carlton Natural Blonde. Our great blonde was what I tried to say then. Our great friends, Sam.
Speaking of bronze, Jim.
Yep.
This I meant to ask Terry Wallace. Terry Wallace's wife, Karen. Oh, all right, sorry, Gary. Which way am I going with it?
Well, straighten it up. Yeah.
She was. This is true. She was a big M girl back in the 70s, and I meant to ask Terry, is that her?
Is it her?
Well,
you didn't get around to asking.
You guessed, did you?
Would you think that looks like Karen?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes.
No, I don't. But this is, and they brought these out. This is the reason for this is that they Big M brought out jigsaws, and this is a jigsaw in here. See, look, they're jigsaw pieces.
There they are.
And you do the game, I'm going to assemble it and see what it comes out like. And I presume it's going to be one of the Big M girls.
All right.
Well,
but I'll get it going, so you just push on with it.
You get stuck into that, Samuel.
This is true. She was a Big M girl. And I'm not sure if that's her, but I forgot to ask Terry. I got waylaid with all that other stuff.
You did.
Sure, it's very true. Now, we are going to push on. The Queen's Birthday Monday game is a blockbuster. Melbourne and Collingwood at the MCG. Just one win on the season for the D's, but this game's all about one thing. The arrival in the big time of the most talked about talent in last year's Uber draft, Jack Watts. He joins Russell Robertson, Lyndon Dunn, Kyle Cheney and Michael Newton in the side. Brad Miller, Gary, your lookalike, heads out, as does Stefan Martin, as we swing across to the mighty Maggies. Got themselves back on track with a magnificent second half performance against Port on the weekend. Dane Swan clocked up incredible 48 possession game. He is the leading stat getter in the competition. Travis Cloak, Paul Medhurst and Ben Reid have been added to the Pie squad. Shane, Queen's Birthday Monday, who do you like?
Yeah, it should be a fantastic game. I think Collingwood, they're just starting to click into gear. They're playing for one another, and the game against West Coast over there a few weeks ago has really sort of set them on their way. So I think they'll win and win well. I'm going to go with Collingwood, but it's good to see Russell Robertson back, and good luck to Jack Watts. It gives them a bit of forward power up there.
Lukey Ball, you were an early draft pick who stayed at school at Xavier in your first year, and I don't think you played footy then, but it's a big thing, isn't it? He's at Brighton Grammar, this lad, and he's going to step up the big time.
It is a big thing, and I think he mentioned during the week that he's probably barely played in front of 1,000 or 2,000 people, and now he's going to step out and play in front of, hopefully 70 or 75. So, but I've met him a few times, and he seems like a pretty well-grounded kid, and it seems like he'll handle it pretty well. So, having said that, though, I think Collingwood will win.
What are you doing, Foss?
What are you doing?
Well, just assembled it, Jim. And this last bit there, that's what it is.
Gary! Yep. Oh, no.
Where'd you get that? What's that? Why is that there?
Is that you? Is that you, Foss? A suave-looking young man you were.
Oh, look at
Why is that here?
I don't know, must have got stuck in. But we've got to get going because we've got time. Just on this game, for Melbourne supporters, Queen's Birthday Monday is the biggest game of the year for the Demons, whilst they're not playing finals. So get along. The Magpies do a very good thing every year by agreeing to play Melbourne as the away team at the MCG on Queen's Birthday Monday. Plenty to get excited about on Monday, so get yourself along. Over 60,000 people there would be an enormous boost for the coffers of a footy club that need every dollar they can get.
Yep, get along, if for no other reason, ladies and gentlemen, than to see the most anticipated debut in football for a very long time. I speak of the Brighton grammarian, Jack Watts, and he caught up this week with our own Gary Lyon.
Mate, well done.
Thank you very much.
Been a pretty busy day for you. You've just had the football press here, and in 4 days' time you're going to make your debut on the MCG against Collingwood.
Yeah, it's been a big day, and I'm just rapt to get the chance to go out and play with the boys.
When did you find out?
Bales called me last night, just before their training session, and let me know that I'd be playing on Monday.
Well, you live in every kid's dream. You're still at school, so you've played for Brighton Grammar, you played for the Casey Scorpion Seconds and then the VFL team, and now you're playing senior AFL footy. Are you physically ready for that sort of challenge?
Yeah, ready to play on a half-forward flank and a wing. Not really ready to take on the big boys just yet, but I'm just excited and want to get out and have a run and just try my hardest.
Does the history and tradition capture you? Have you got an appreciation for just how great this club once was and will be again?
Yeah, it's a great honour. The MCG is our home ground, and over the next few years, hopefully we can really get back to what we were in the old days when it was sort of other teams feared coming here to play us, and on Monday against Collingwood on the MCG, historical event, I guess, and I get to debut. It's pretty surreal.
Now, the Melbourne Footy Club have told me that the highest selling jumper is your number 4 Guernsey, and yet you haven't played a game.
I guess it's that expectation. With being the number 1 draft pick, I've just got to be myself and do my best out in the field, and hopefully I'll sort of justify that position that I hold, I guess.
There's a whole generation of young Melbourne supporters that are going to invest so heavily in you. I've got 3 boys myself who are a bit reluctant to get along, but this Monday they can't wait because I've told them that you're going to play. I mean, are you aware of that sort of pressure?
I think I'm aware of it, and I expect it, but you can't really let it faze you too much. I've just got to go out there and play my own game and do my bit for the team, and hopefully if I can do that, we'll get a good result, and the supporters will be happy.
Were your mates aware of the fact that you were playing this week?
Yeah, I told a select few of them.
Yeah. What was their reaction?
They were pretty pumped.
Yeah,
they're getting ready for a big Monday, and they'll be able to go out on the Monday night, and I'll be home in bed, studying and thinking about my accounting exam.
How are you going to deal with that?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I've done a fair bit of work, the debits and credits and all that kind of stuff, but I'll go in and give it a crack, and hopefully it turns out all right.
For Melbourne over the past few years, some terrific young kids, very level-headed
Could I just ask Campbell Brown, I want you to think about this for a microsecond. If you were lined up on young Jack, would you punch his head in first up? How would you play on him, mate?
You'd wait till the ball got in his area, and then you might
just
try and punch
belt
him.
the living suitcase out of him, wouldn't you?
You'd try to early. It's a good test of a young kid to see how he took it and see how he played. He might kick 2 goals and you'd stop. You'd never do it again.
Gary, it is hard to put into words what that young man's about to do. He's not even 18 yet, I don't think. He's about to run out.
No, he has just turned 18. Yeah, so he just got his licence.
I started when I was 18, Gary. Look, just not long after that.
We weren't talking about you, though.
No,
we're
I'm
talking
sorry.
about him.
No, we weren't either.
70-odd thousand. It's going to be an amazing experience.
Yeah, he'll play up high, I reckon, half forward and up around the wing. He's an unbelievable athlete. Would play for basketball for Australia, they would have said, had he chosen that path. Was in all the elite basketball teams, but thankfully he's chosen footy.
They say the best talent to arrive at the Melbourne Football Club since himself in 1985. That's how highly ranked he is.
Port Adelaide take on, good luck to Jack Watts. Port Adelaide take on Fremantle Saturday night at Amy Stadium, 10th and ladder, 5 wins, 5 losses are Port Adelaide. Lost to Collingwood by 38 points last Sunday. They've got a 4-1 record at Amy, which is probably the only thing going for Port Adelaide at the moment. Chad Corn's out for a month with a knee, Josh Carr amongst 3 others to come.
back into the side, who take on Fremantle at 14th on the ladder. 3 wins, 7 losses. Went down to Richmond by 3 points. Won 3 of the 4 quarters last week. Still lost the game. Headland, Johnson, McFarlane and Grover all out of the side. Experienced heads Hayden Ballantyne and Clancy Pearce will make their debut for the Fremantle Footy Club. Good luck tipping a winner between these two sides, Shane.
Yeah, good luck to Jack Watts. I didn't get to mention that, but good luck. I don't care who wins. I hope they both lose.
Some massive outs there. Grover and McFarlane are going to hurt. Interesting matchup who they'll play on Tredro, who's going all right at the moment. I'm going to go with Port.
Yeah, Port desperately need a win, Port, so you'd have to pick them at home. Interesting, 2 more debutants for Freo. I think that's sort of 8 or 10 that they've played this year, so really going with the kids, but Port at home.
Yeah, because they've been doing in the world of good, the debutants.
7 in actual fact. So
How the hell did they lose that last week?
Yes, it was...
Did you know, Gary? Did you analyse it?
A roller coaster.
A roller coaster?
He was.
Oh, dear me. Hard lines for Fremantle. I'm going for Port.
Gary? I'm going for Port, Jimmy. I am going for Port as well.
All right, now you reckon we're funny on the footy show. You need to get the opportunity to see us live. This is coming up shortly. The mid-season footy review for the North Melbourne Footy Club. Crown Palladium, $135. Sam is there. What? Bill is there, Gary is there, along with myself, of course. You all know about it. Don't act as if you don't. That is the day.
Doing?
You're all going to be part of a mid-season review. Big panel, huge audience.
Will the
Crown
coach
Palladium.
be there?
Get along. They probably will. 9320-2404, Gary.
Well done. Get along to that. We're going to take a break. We're going to pay tribute to Tyson Edwards, and then Sam and Luke Ball are going to have a drum-off next on the Footy Show. Two budding drummers ready to go, Luke Ball and Sam Newman over there. But before we do that, we'll have a look at this last game. But before we do Essendon... Oh, OK, we'll do that first. Essendon... Taking on Adelaide. The Bombers are 9th on the ladder, 5 wins and 5 losses. They went down to Geelong by 64 points. Nagel kicked 3 goals, which is a fair performance. Slattery, Winderlick and Bellchambers out of the side. Scott Lucas, one of those names that potentially could play, as well as Brett Prismal, the guy from Geelong. They take on the Adelaide Crows. What a victory. 5 wins, 5 losses. Beat Hawthorn by 27 points last Sunday. Taylor Walker, the NAB Rising Star, kicking 5 goals. No outs at the moment. Riley Petrenko and James Saller come into this squad, boys. I'll get your tip, but also I want you to get a comment on Tyson Edwards, who plays game number 300 on the weekend. So, magnificent performance. You've had the big players down there, Rashudo and Hart and McLeod and all those great players, and I reckon Edwards gets forgotten sometimes, but he shouldn't.
Yeah, he's been a star. He uses the ball so well, and he's been a great leader to all the... He's been a great leader to all the younger kids coming through, so wish him all the very best. Essendon, they'll learn a lot from last week against Geelong. I thought they played well, but Geelong were just in the zone, so I think Essendon in an upset at the Etihad.
Brownie?
Yes, great effort, Tyson Edwards. I don't think too many players are going to get to 300 games anymore. I think the 200's the new 300 now, and great effort. And had a first-hand look last week at Taylor Walker and Chris Knights, and I think they're both going to be superstars, so I'm going to go with Adelaide.
All right, there we go. Like to get up the Crows for the big milestone games, but I'm going to go against the trend there and pick the Bombers.
And Luke Ball. Go for Luke Ball in the drumming competition.
You're going for
tonight.
Luke? Who are you going for, Brad?
Yeah, Moral.
Bally against Sammy Newman. I'm going to hand over to James Brayshaw now for the drum-off. Jim?
Yes, thank you very much for that, Gaz. I'll tell you what, we've already had a sneak peek of Sam behind the drums. He's a military-style operator, whereas I think Lukey's more your rock and roll man. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to get Sam to go first for about 30 or 40 seconds, and then
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Here we go with Sam Newman first, ladies and gentlemen.
If we'd had Golden Wedding,
Sit down and start drumming. All right. I'm going to do my best Daryl Summers and give it that one. Shut up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, by applause, who did you like best? The military stylings of Sam Newman? or the more conventional style of Luke Ball? Appeared to me to be lukewarm both ways, Gary. We're going to take a break, back to wrap up the footy show in a second. Play us off, boys, a little more. There you are, guys.
The worst three drumming exhibitions I've ever seen in my life. You hit the thing, Jim.
Oh, well, I am. I'm just setting it up for Gary. You want me to go again?
Yeah, you're playing soft. Give it a belt, Jim. Belt it. All right, that's enough. All right, that's enough, Jim. Hopeless. All right. Exciting. What can you play, Shane?
I can play the...
play with yourself,
the triangle.
Spoons. What do you think, the panel, ladies and gentlemen, particularly Luke Ball and Campbell Brown, who have been outstanding, and also Billy and Shane Crawford. Good luck in the week. We're going to say good night. Good luck to Terry Wallace as he coaches his last game on the weekend, and also to Jack Watts, who makes his debut, and everyone else celebrating milestones in this round 11 of the AFL. We'll see you next Thursday night. Good night.